As with any other title, Demon Slayer gets a lot of flack. It's definitely not perfect, but no matter how many videos I make calling certain characters idiots or criticizing the plot, it doesn't mean that I don't like it. Quite the contrary, I am very passionate about it and I want it to be even more successful. I just like deconstructing everything I see and finding issues. That's why most of my content is somewhat negative. Usually I criticize fans, but today I want to switch it up, target a different group of people, and address some criticisms toward Demon Slayer that don't make much sense. So let's get to bashing detractors. Demon Slayer is overrated. How many times have you heard that one? I heard that plenty. And usually when I ask people to elaborate, they say something like, well, it's unfair that it's so popular. How come Hunter is not as popular? Or Hellsing, for example, or even Berserk? They are far better and more obscure. Almost like people who say that were born yesterday and don't understand that the more accessible a story is, the more famous it's gonna be. Try showing Berserk to a 10-year-old kid. I wonder at what point they'll say it's boring and ask you to turn it off. Show some bloody fight scenes from Hellsing to a girl that likes My Little Pony. Do you think she'll thank you? And then put on Demon Slayer for both of them. I bet they'll love it. It has something for every type of viewer. From kawaii moments for weeaboos to buff half-naked men and women for any perv. It has drama and comedy, tragic demons' origins and goofy faces, extensive lore for fans to sink their teeth in and analyze characters. Granted, the dialogue can be a bit too on the nose, but I think it's by design. For example, when Ryo's webs turn red, it's an obvious visual cue that they got stronger, but he still explained that verbally, which can be a bit redundant and annoying. But we have to keep in mind that this is made to appeal to a younger audience, and that explanation will make everything clear for them. I really do believe Kimetsu no Yaiba has something for everybody. And literally nothing is stopping a person from enjoying reading something like Nietzsche and unwinding at the end of the day by watching Demon Slayer. It's a fairly simple story with some tasteful intrigue. If you watched it, you probably remember how it showed us those silhouettes of younger moons. Say what you want about this method, but I was hooked and really wanted to know who's hiding behind those. When first reading the manga, in the back of my mind I thought Kakushibo might be Tanjiro's dad, just because of similar appearance like hair and clothing. Imagine my surprise when it was revealed that he's the brother of that overpowered dude from Muzan's flashbacks. That's some gripping stuff and it's fairly well done. Even I, a person who doesn't really like mangas, read all Kimetsu no Yaiba chapters in a couple of days. This type of easily digestible media has always been more popular than anything else. You just need to accept it. If you think that makes it overrated, then you don't understand basic stuff. On top of that, Demon Slayer fanbase is not like Rick and Morty's, for example. They don't really put it on a pedestal and scream at the top of their lungs.
I want Szechuan sauce! Where's my Szechuan sauce? I'm Pickle Rick!
Most of them just gush over a specific character, while still acknowledging that the title itself has its issues. Well, maybe I just haven't encountered any of those hardcore fans. On the contrary, critics come off more rabid, especially when they say that the show is run-of-the-mill garbage for toddlers. That no adult in their right mind would watch it, and everyone who does is a dumb man-child. People who hold this position usually justify it by saying that there's too much affectation in the show, like over-the-top grimaces and goofy behavior from characters like Zenitsu. And I agree, this can be annoying. I myself am not a fan of that. But I understand that comedy is subjective, and someone will genuinely find that entertaining. Tell me, where exactly is this line between intellectual jokes and dumb stuff for kids? And what if someone likes both? I really see no issue in laughing at a character making faces, no matter how old the viewer is. What do people even mean when they say it's for kids? What criteria are they using, and why something created for children cannot be enjoyed by everyone? You do realize that this is the whole shtick of studios like Pixar and DreamWorks, creating media for all age groups. So it's totally possible. Do you need more violence? Here you go. There's a myriad of frames with chopped off limbs. Oh, but that's just manga, you say? Like we did not have explicit imagery in the anime, including corpses, snapped necks, and tons of blood. Okay, maybe you think that's all just for show, and violence doesn't automatically mean adult. Well, what does then? Nudity and innuendo? I for one think that's actually more immature. What about deep themes? Well, then you would have to define what a deep theme is and how it differs from a shallow one. And as far as I know, so far no one has done that. I noticed that people don't really know what they're talking about. They just regurgitate something they heard online and run away when pressed for proof. Like, even Attack on Titan, with its global and serious themes of politics, genocide, and whatnot, is not actually deeper than anything happening in Demon Slayer. The difficulty of a theme doesn't always depend on the media presenting it. Sometimes it's up to the viewer. If someone understands how politics work, Attack on Titan is not gonna be that deep to them. It's also funny how people nitpick certain moments, like, Ryu said the webs cannot cut his flesh, but then it happens. That's a plot hole! Disregarding the fact that, as I mentioned in the beginning, he made them stronger after some time. It doesn't take a lot of effort to poke holes in the plot, and the author is aware of these issues. They even had the courtesy to apologize for all the mishaps, which in my eyes makes them more respectable than some other directors. In comparison to their self-awareness, all these claims, "this anime is overrated and it's for kids," seem ironically childish. Try being more reasonable in the future. That's about all I have to say, but you can continue exploring my content and watch other videos like these, where I rank demons and slayers from dumbest to smartest. Good times. Kisses.